DNR College Football Report right here at Tyler Media through 107.7 The Franchise. Dave Meyer, Rives Mitchell. Rives met with Brent Venables this morning in Norman. He was about 30 minutes at the podium. Things that stood out, Deshaun McCullough, Justin Harrington, Cheetah, not quite sure who that's going to be this week.
I'm really looking at that as a key matchup for the Tulsa game because Tulsa's got a really good slot receiver in Braylon Presley. He's a 5'6" guy, little jitterbug, can make a guy miss anywhere. So I'm really anxious to see who OU plays at that Cheetah position and who's going to match up with Presley because I think by far he's Tulsa's best weapon.
I couldn't agree more. We're going to see some deep shots with Presley, no doubt testing that secondary because I think Peyton Bowen's going to be the guy that we see slide into Cheetah, and that leaves a safety position open on that back end.
And what a game for Peyton Bowen last week. Blocking the punt first off, that led to OU's first scoring drive. But then later in the game, getting that pass breakup on 4th and 1, just an incredible play, reaching his arm across the field to bat that ball down. Dave, he gave OU some extra possessions in that game, and if he can do that throughout the season, it's just going to help the offense so much.
How does that affect you going forward in terms of what you got to do in the future?
Well, I'm only kind of smirking because Alabama falling, I'm not sure. Texas, apparently I did not see the game. Apparently they played fantastic. You don't just go into Bryant-Denny Stadium and win and not play pretty dang good. So, credit to them for that. I don't necessarily think that's indicative of Nebraska or Texas falling or Alabama falling. I don't even know what to say. That doesn't sound right. I don't know how to say that. My brain doesn't think like that, apparently. But I just say, hey, man, this is the league that we signed up for, and this is college football. But those are two really good programs, and Alabama's been the gold standard for a long time. That doesn't mean they're not vulnerable to a great game, and they came up on the short side of it. That's the game too. I'm sure there's moments and plays in that game where they were punished for not doing X or Y or Z the right way, and then again, this is a game of performance and guys winning their matchups, and it sounds like Texas made some great plays, and no surprise. It sounds like it was a great game and a great venue, and those are two teams right now that are, again, early in the season, playing really well. But I don't think it's indicative necessarily that Alabama is going to fall off the face of college football either. Not that you said that, but they'll respond. I'm sure of that.
Bam. And that was Brent Venables talking about a stiffer test. And probably not, Reeves. I look for OU's offense to look a lot better this week, kind of take the top off and allow Gabriel and those guys on the outside to make some plays.
Yeah, and the difference between last week and this week to me is SMU's front seven was a very experienced bunch. They did really good in the transfer portal, got some run stopper guys. Now, OU ran the ball decently in that game, but I don't think they ran the ball well enough to make SMU say, hey, we can come out of this too high safety look and really stack the box. They kept those safeties back there, which restricted OU from throwing the ball downfield. This week, I think it's another story. I don't think Tulsa's front seven is going to live up to expectation against the OU offensive line. That being said, I think it's going to open up a deep passing game for Dylan Gabriel. Look for Andrell Anthony, a guy like Farouk, to have some deep plays downfield and really test that Tulsa secondary.
Agreed. OU's run game will suck those safeties up. That opens it up for Dylan. But Reeves, there was something else that happened after the game Saturday. A certain father-in-law of a certain coach made his way down to the field in OU gear, and somebody took a picture, and it was all the rage for 24 hours. We met with Coach Jeff Levy on this topic. Here's what Coach Levy had to say.
Yeah, morning. Suspect. Some of you might have questions regarding my father-in-law, his presence at the game Saturday night. Want to go ahead and address this. Got a statement for you guys that I'll read. One, just want everybody to understand my father-in-law, his presence on the field after the game the other night is something that created a distraction, and I apologize for that. That was not the intent at all. The intent was just to celebrate with my family. Do want to correct some reports that claimed he had a sideline pass. There was not a sideline pass given out. He was actually on the field only when other families we're down there and we're present. You know, Joe Castiglione, Coach Venables, both have addressed concerns with me, have talked to me about it, and again can make sure that everybody understands that this is something that will not come up again. So with that, I wanted to start with that and then get into questions.
Let's start far right side, Ryan Chapman.
And that was Coach Jeff Levy, Rives, talking about, you know, the Art Briles situation, and I thought it was very smart for Oklahoma and Coach Levy to, you know, nip this in the bud. You don't need distractions right now.
Added distractions to a football team, especially a 2-0 football team, is never a good recipe. And this is exactly what that was. This didn't need to happen. Now, we can get into the whole family thing, but there's also Art Briles' history. Those are two different things, and he may be Levy's family, but in my opinion, at the end of the day, Jeff has to be smarter in a situation like that and really look down the line. How does this affect my football team, first of all? Maybe this is a good thing for me, but does it affect other people? I think he's learned his lesson, Dave. I think Brent definitely gave him a stern talking to and, you know, nipped this thing in the bud, swept it under the rug. So hopefully this is the last we hear from that story this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go one step further. Hey, if you're Art Briles, don't put your son-in-law in that position then to
I would
begin
agree.
with. He should know that, you know, anybody deserves a second chance, but he has a bad stain on his name. But that's going to do it, guys. Just kind of wanted to recap the press conference, what we heard today. We'll be back with you later this week. Dave Meyer, Rives Mitchell, DNR College Football Report, here at 107.7 The Franchise.